Clearly, Jamie Arnold in control of the game. Stuff was as good as I've seen it. The fastball, life, obviously the velocity. I'll have to look at the secondary pitches. I think his slider was probably the most consistent today, but the fastball was a story, and he did a nice job of managing that. Again, hard-nosed hitters that are fastball hitters, that's a strong physical group. They've got way more home runs than we have, and you have to be careful. But the way he went about it, with the swings and misses and some of the foul balls and some of those at-bats lengthened out, and his pitch count, when you're looking at a guy that seems to be accumulating strikeouts, that pitch count was also climbing, and rarely do you make a mound visit with a catcher to try to figure out, do you want to let him face? I think Penny was up, and we just had gotten to the point with the pitch count that we thought that was enough. He's coming off a shorter week. I think he started last Sunday, so we were monitoring that a little bit. But really good, pleased with his maturity and the way he went about it. Offensively, the first inning, you don't know when you walk out there which inning gives you an opportunity, and clearly our at-bats right out of the gate were good, and then the line out, a couple inches in any direction, that ball probably, who knows what the result of that inning would be, but the guy made a nice catch and doubled off Cam, who was running fine. Jaime delivered. That was a big at-bat because the momentum, they were about to wiggle off the hook, and Jaime did not let that happen. That was a good battle. Bedford had multiple fastballs, slider, changeup to both, so he pitched well. I thought if you look at the exit velocities and the quality of some of the contact, there just wasn't much to show for it, and that explains how hard it is to score 5-6 runs a game, 7 runs. It's just not easy. I thought there were some at-bats that just didn't result in much. Dingus, I don't know how many balls he seemed to flush up. Max Williams, Tibbs, you can kind of go on and on. But that's the way this game is. It's not always easy to score. It was good to see Lodis. Clearly, the base hit bunt helped a lot. Cantu's double and Max West grinding through the at-bat. I think the ball kind of hit the base, and that was a wild play. And then Jackson West to go to third base on Lodis's bunt was a unique, heady play. Holbrook's pick yesterday on the curveball with Leiter to throw behind the runner at first, record an out. And West today blocking that pitch and recovering and throwing it down there. And Ferrer hanging in there on a tricky tag. Huge outs. And because of that, it's neat that the game ended on a pop-up to Jackson. So well-played game on both sides. They have a bunch of talented arms, and they just keep rolling them out there. When you pitch that way and you play sound defense, you can stay in some games and hang in there, even when your offense isn't really having a lot go its way. Short, again, comes in to get the righty. Nice. Ox comes in and gets Jefferson pinch hitting. Huge. And then you're clearly in a situation where the time runs at second base and you have a little bit of a mess, but Ox hung in there and got the pop-up to close it out. So, again, proud of the way the guys handled this. Not easy today. Good team in the other dugout. Good win.
Jamie's confidence in the fastball, I think that was his third time this year with no walks in an outing. Just how much does that confidence in the fastball to just attack hitters have to do with that?
If he doesn't have confidence in that fastball right now, it's just a true weapon. And as he's worked, like we talk about this weight room and what Micah does with those guys down there to develop them, you're seeing it in front of you. That was not always the case with his fastball alone last year. But to settle in and just feel what that's like and to drive those pitches through the zone, it's such a unique profile on how that fastball plays. You see so many guys swing under it, and Jamie has worked hard and he's matured, and you're seeing him take shape right now. That's an electric fastball, and his slider was pretty good today. I need to watch the video at some of the secondary pitches to see where they were, but it was enough to keep a really good fastball hitting team off of it a little bit. But yeah, he enjoys that fastball, and he should.
Do you like, as a manager, I mean, I know you like 12-2 games too. Those are always fun in a dugout, but 4-2, tested.
I'll take it 12-2.
Sure, but to be able to do that, to be able to show that you can win a game like that with the real pressure on in those late innings.
Yeah, there's no wiggle room. So every decision, we had some tough decisions. And to be honest, like there was a guy down there that we considered like in that last moment because he really did well right on right with the breaking ball last time. But we felt like Ox had been on it last night and got us a key out and let him go. But every decision is magnified and the execution has to be on point. All phases of the game have to be functional if you're going to win a game like this. They have to. There were still plays we should have made today. Cam will tell you he should have caught that ball. There's plays we should have made to squash it, but rarely do you play perfect. But in these moments, man, that you have to be close to perfect or you're not going to win a game.
With Ox, do you feel like the improvement this year is from the improvement on the stuff or just improvement in execution on a more consistent basis?
I think the stuff has gotten a little bit better, and sometimes in the bigger moment, it seems to actually click up a tick. He's learned himself, and we've given him a lot of opportunities. He got a lot of experience and opportunities last year, a ton of them. So you're learning by jumping in the fire and having to manage it and survive. Like, it's just more crisp this year. I think he commands a breaking ball a little bit better. I think he stuffs that fastball into the righties more consistently, and he's just settled a little bit in how we're using him, which helps. But clearly 2 days in a row, those are some really key big pitches well executed.
Did you like what you saw from Max in the leadoff spot? I mean, the triple to start the game is always nice.
I did. It's nice when you have that kind of firepower right out of the gate. And he runs and does some things, and he's a good outfielder. And when you're thinking about like how that lineup feels, we did not want to disrupt the whole thing by trying to create other things. So we just stuck him in there. And he hammered that ball to first base today. And again, the secondary pitches those guys threw were really, really good. Bedford's changeup was good. Flynn's, the knuckle curveball is really, that's tough stuff. And he hung in there. But leading off the game, that could have been the difference in the game, the first at-bat of the game. So he's not your prototypical guy, but he can bunt and he can run and he's learning. Like he didn't play a heck of a lot last year at Alabama, got some at-bats, had a great summer. And he's a really good outfielder. So I have no problem with it. Whether he's the prototypical guy or not, you're getting a good at-bat and a good talented player.
And it was a pivotal walk he had, too, in the inning where Tibbs ended up with the sac fly.
It's a good call.
Run.
He did. Yep, he did. He laid off some tough pitches. So the thing with him and the teaching is some of his at-bats when he's not starting the game haven't quite been as on point as some of the ones when he's starting the game. And that's part of learning what this is like at this level, to play and to not start a game. So he works at it and he's talented and he's only going to get better.
How big was it for Army to respond the way he did after the solo shot to end the 8th inning?
He's good. He's pitched good now maybe 3 times in a row sharp. We're still building that pitch count, but I think he's about ready now to kind of let it run a little bit more. That was right at 40 pitches. Pitched great in Gainesville on Tuesday. So we're starting to stack. If you're going to do what we want to do, you have to stack good outings, and he's starting to do that, and Ox has done it, and it's big. And Army knows what he's doing. So the breaking ball, kind of Williams took a good swing. I think it was probably up a little bit, not down and kind of in where he was trying to finish it. But fine. Response good. Execution fine.
I know streaks and records aren't necessarily the things that you're looking at, but when you go out, take that first ACC series, do it in the way you've done in a game where the Irish kind of pressed you the way you did, just how nice is it to know that you guys picked up right where you've left off and now really starting to roll into conference play?
Yeah, it feels good. Just to me, the pitch-by-pitch execution is ultimately all we can control. And I don't want you to think about the external things too much. Like, this is hard enough when you're completely focused. So just staying with that, that's what's gotten us to this point. Managing the mindset and the bodies and taking care of yourself allows you to start to stack good performances. And clearly the guys have done that, and you have to keep it going. This is not something that can bob and weave if you want to do what we want to do.
Anything else?